All right, everybody, let's get into the world of PPV traffic, also known as CPV traffic, okay? And let me teach you how to dominate your space in the PPV world. Um, Now, first, let's get into kind of what is PPV. Um, Many people haven't used it. It's kind of a fun thing that I don't think is talked about very often, but it's a great traffic source, and I'm going to teach you how to do it here. By the time you're done with this course, you should be able to grab an ad provider and start running with it. So the upside of PPV traffic is you can get really cheap clicks to your site. Okay, I mean I'm talking like 1 cent, 5 cents a click to your site, and if you get it targeted right, and we're going to go through all that. So it's potentially very inexpensive traffic, highly targeted, that you can get. So what PPV traffic is, in a nutshell, is adware that's installed on a consenting user's computer. So, for example, somebody's trying to download some freebies like some games or some movies or things like that. Well, the PPV network, the people who are collecting these users offer these free things, right? That's the value they provide. Say, hey, here's this free game, here's this free download, here's this free ringtone, things like that. And if you download them, then you consent to have that software installed on your computer, which is then going to serve to you ads in exchange. So from that consenting relationship, you get a whole network of people that these ad providers can then deliver ads to. And so what you're doing is you're buying ad space from that. So that's what PPV traffic is in a nutshell, and where it comes from. So they're not on-page ads. On-page ads. It's not like you're buying banner space on an ad, or on a page or anything like that. Instead, you're buying pop-up ads or in-text ads, and I'll go into that and tell you what they're about. But that's what makes us different from like banner buying or media buying, things like that. So the different pieces of PPV traffic is that you need to find an ad provider and get an account set up with them. And there's a bunch of different ones. Most of them that I've heard of or dealt with have you set up an account, so you pre-fund your account with a couple $100 or $1,000. I mean, depends on the provider. I know there's ones that let you in with as little as $100, and some that require that you have at least $1,000 deposited into your ad spend account before you can create an account. So you'll have to look at the different providers, see what their requirements are, and see which one fits your needs and budget and things like that. And then the next part is your ads, and we'll take a look at a couple ads and show you the different types of ads so you can have an idea of how it could work for you. Um, the next thing is the targets. This is going to be the key to PPV traffic, is understanding your targets and how to maximize your ROI in various targets. What's your return on investment for this target and that target. And we'll go into this. I mean, you could play the game where you want to be first and foremost on every target, which is expensive but gets you high volume, or you can take more of a back seat and get inexpensive exposure at a little bit less volume. So we're going to cover both of those, and then lastly, the optimization of making all that all come together. So the ad providers available to you are many, and here's just a list to get you started. Traffic Vance, my favorite, the one I'll be showing you some examples in. Direct CPV, Lead Impact, Add-on Network, Media Traffic, Icewater Media, things like that. So I'm sure there's more. This is just a brief list to get you started, get your research going. Again, I've heard great things about Traffic Vance. It's my favorite. So um, that is that when it comes to ad providers. Now, like I said, again, these ad providers are continually building their networks of people who have their software installed on their devices so that they can serve your ads to them. So always growing, ever changing. It's a good idea to see if you can get some information on the demographic of your ad provider's network, the audience that you're going to be hitting. Are they younger? Are they older? Are they male? Are they female? Is it just a blend? Does the ad provider notice any demographic specifics that could help you out understanding understanding that in your traffic. So that's a good thing to look into. But let's get into the ads now that you've had a chance to take a look at the ad providers and select one. So there's two kinds of ads with PPV traffic. The first I'm going to talk about is contextual pop-ups, and the second is interstitial ads or in-text ads. Okay, so the contextual pop-ups are pop-ups that show up when the user of the software, so when the user's browsing around and they happen to search for a specific keyword or keyword string, or even visit a specific URL, depending on how you've targeted your ad, the software will pop up in a new browser window your ad and display it to the user, serve it to the user. So you'll need to know from your ad provider what the size of that pop-up window is, so you can create your banner or landing page or video or whatever you want to pop to fit, so it fits nicely in the space. I know Traffic Van says 800, 600 by 800, so that's the space you have to work with there. So it's a pretty large window. Other ones have smaller windows, other ones have larger windows. So Traffic Van is 800 by 600, and that's what you have to work with on that pop-up. And then the nextly is the interstitial ads or the in-text ads. And these text ads, the way they work is when there's a body of text. Let's say somebody's reading a Wikipedia article or something like that on how to improve their golf swing. Well, when that phrase comes up that you're targeting, improve golf swing or something like that, whatever that phrase is that you're targeting, when that shows up in a body of text, it can be bolded, underlined, highlighted, and when they mouse over that text, your ad displays in a little, like, hovering bubble, little light box is what it kind of looks like. So it pops up and grabs the attention of the viewer, so they hopefully click on it, which then takes them to the destination page, whether that be a landing page. And I would recommend for your ads, test out a variety. Test out some large banner ads that will pop up the right size for your ad provider. So a large banner and I'll show you an example of Netflix banner, that's simple, that's call to action directed, that's benefit driven, pop-up display banner. The other thing I would try is, and you can do this with the pop-ups, I don't know of a network it would work within the in-text ads, but with the pop-ups you can pop up a squeeze page and actually capture an actual capture page, with a headline and an offer, and capture people's email, add them to your list right from the get-go. And then as they submit that and join your list, then you take them to to your destination page where you've got an offer for them. And then lastly, see if you can pop up an actual offer page that you're promoting. I mean, maybe it's a sales video with a buy link right there. Pop directly to that and see how that converts too. So I'd test those 3 different destinations and see which one works for you. And it might be different per target too. So if you're targeting this keyword string or this URL, you might find that the lander works fine, or but over here the actual just popping straight to the offer works better. So test those out. And with the in-text ads, Traffic Vans, for example, allows you to pop up a little box full of text. So it's just like a little pop-up, a little help bubble with text in it. You can also pop up a 200 by 300 graphic banner, so you can do that too. And there's different options there for those. So this is what an in-text ad would look like. So somebody's visiting this website, and this is really interesting. This is how you can sit on your competitor's page, in essence, and grab traffic from it. So here's a score. Here's a website that's giving credit scores. So you can click on this this big orange button they've got here and check your credit score, and here's some important information, things like that. But what happens is that the viewer here who's using this browser typed in this URL, went to this page, um, but they've got the ad provider software installed on their computer. So as soon as the phrase free credit score shows up, um, the software actually highlights it and underlines it. And if ever they mouse over it, this big ad pops up, right? So in essence, you can sit directly on your competitor's page. If you know your competitor's pages, their URLs, some phrases that they're using on those pages, you can actually use that as a target and target this URL and display your ad on their site. So this is an in-text ad here, because inside of this body of text, a phrase is highlighted or underlined, and when moused over, your ad shows up. Um, you're going to want this to be very relevant to the page, to what the mouse over is. So make sure that your ad is relevant to the target that you're using, that you're bidding for, as well as huge call to action here. View your credit score, graphical, button based, very good. Also test just a blue highlighted link inside of here. I've heard rumors that converts better. Again, you're going to want to test on your audience. Instead of a button, that would be to have a blue link that's obviously clickable. People are used to that, and I've heard it works well. So this is an example of the in-text ad. So the pop-up ads are different. So you go to a specific URL, so for example, what's happened here is somebody with the software installed on their computer went to this Merriam-Webster online dictionary for the specific word, right? It looks like they're looking up a word in the dictionary, and Netflix decided for whatever reason that would be a good place for them to pop up, right? So their ad pops up here, and it's a big graphical banner with call to action, click here button. So big benefit driven, clear message, clear call to action pop up that shows up in front of the web page that they're trying to get to. So this is the pop-up ads that you'll be able to deliver now that you're going to get your PPV all set up. So those are the ads. Now the next thing we're going to look at is the targeting. So you have an ad provider, you understand the two different kinds of ads, you get some ideas in your head, hopefully on the different things you can display in text or on banners and things like that. Two pieces left: targeting, and then lastly optimization. So what you need to do in the next video I have here, I'm gonna show you this. You need to go out and you need to find the keywords that you want to target. And I'll teach you how to find how to find the best ones and things like that. But you need to find those keywords that you want to target, and then also the URL target. So let me explain the difference here. So when you are running a PPV campaign, you can target let's just talk about the display ads. So the display ads, you can target keyword phrases. So if somebody's in a search engine like Google or Yahoo or something like that, and they're searching a specific phrase, improved golf swing, and you're bidding for that phrase, then your ad has a chance to be delivered right there to the user. So in search bars and in any kind of text editable field where they're typing in specific keyword phrases, that's when you're going to get displays. Okay, you're going to get your impressions, and that's how the keywords work. In a text ad, the keywords work like I mentioned before. So there's a paragraph of text, so they're reading a Wikipedia article about improving their golf swing, and when the key phrases show up, they'll be highlighted and underlined, and when they mouse over them, your ad shows up. So you want to make sure you're getting the right keyword targets there, and that's how the keywords work. The URL targets are only for the display ads, the pop-up ads. Okay, it doesn't work for the in-text ads. In-text are only working with keywords. The URL targets, you go out and you find your competitors, the ones that you think are going to have the best traffic, the best targeted audience relevant to you. You're going to go out and find those competitors, and you're going to actually target their URLs. You can get as general as just their root domain. golfexperts.com, or you can get as specific as going specifically to an article or page on their domain. So not just popping every time somebody shows up on golfexperts.com, but instead having your ad pop up when they specifically go to the article about golf swings, right, on that domain. So that's how you're going to use the URL targets. And in the next video, I will show you how to go out and grab a bunch of those to start targeting. Now, a quick note with targeting is as you increase your targets, you're increasing your online presence. And so that's how easy PPV is. If you want more exposure, just go out and find more targets, optimize for them, and then your ads being displayed more, right? It's that simple. So that's that, and we'll give you some visuals on that in the coming video. And then when it comes to optimization, I'm gonna in the following video I'm gonna show you what you should look for in the short term, what you should look for in the long term, and how in the long term you need to look at your cost per target, and then the short term you need to look at how you're ranking per target. Now, tip to remember, and I'll get into this when we're digging in the back end to some of the targets, that depending on what your goal CPA is, what your cost per acquisition is, so what you're willing to spend to get a new customer. Sometimes it's actually better to be in second or third place when you're bidding on these targets and not always fight for first place, because sometimes first place is expensive. I mean, you'll find that somebody in first place could be spending 50% more than the person in second place. And while you'll get a little bit lower volume by not being that first place bidder on your target, your traffic's going to come a lot cheaper. So maybe that's worth it for you, depending on what your goals are. If you need volume, you could fight to be the leader. But if you can handle lower volume across larger range of targets, then you can get cheaper traffic that way. So I'll go into that too. So I'll see you guys on the next video as we learn how to dominate your space in the PPV world.